Welcome, everybody. My name's Paula Ludwig. I'm with the Atlantic Institute, and we are going to do tissue paper wrapping paper today. Normally, I have what we're doing behind us, but I couldn't find that picture today, so I thought I'd let you preview what we're going to do next month. We are going to make these wonderful little snowmen out of tea lights that you turn on, and their noses glow orange. It's kind of fun. Anyways, very easy. The only thing you have to buy is, if you have yarn already, is the tea lights themselves. So the Atlantic Institute is a nonprofit organization that likes to promote positive dialogue between different cultures, religions, meeting your next door neighbor, and just having positive dialogue. I'm going to show a short 2-minute video that really explains what the Atlantic Institute is, and then I'm going to turn this over to Cheryl, and she's going to show us how to do this wonderful craft. All right.
The Atlantic Institute is a nonprofit organization dedicated to promoting harmonious coexistence between peoples of various cultures, faiths, and backgrounds. We seek this goal through peaceful dialogue, education initiatives, and community organization. Our dialogue events bring together experts, community and faith leaders, and knowledge seekers to address social issues that affect us all. We feel dialogue is the most important element in peaceful coexistence, so we try and maintain several panel discussions, TED Talk events, and book clubs throughout the year. These events touch on social issues, race relations, and cultural understanding, and are a mainstay of our programming. The Atlantic Institute's education events are extremely important to our mission of understanding. We want to promote socially forward critical thinking to students of all ages. To that end, we have developed programs that seek to grow the creative spirit of students and help them think about their communities and the world around them. Our Future Leaders of Dialogue event brings together nominated elite students to learn from each other, as well as political and business leaders. Our art and essay contest gives students a theme about important societal issues and allows them to create wonderful works of art and writing while steering their minds towards improving their world. We are always seeking ways to educate youths and adults in order to make a peaceful world for all of us. Our community events are designed to transform neighbors into friends and groups of people into a community. By associating with other nonprofits or by our own initiative, we are always trying to discover new avenues to improve our neighborhoods, places of worship, and community centers. We host cooking demonstrations of food from other cultures, work with various nonprofits to help elevate the work of others, and try to find a way to make the lives of those who are disenfranchised or marginalized better. Building a more peaceful world starts in our backyards, so we are dedicated to improving our communities and associations. The Atlantic Institute is always seeking like-minded volunteers and collaborators. If you would like to learn more, find volunteer opportunities, or just want to chat with our staff, please visit our website at www.atlanticinstitutesc.org or follow us on Facebook. We will never run out of fun, educational, peaceful events, so come join us to help make this world a better place full of understanding and unity.
All right. I want to also add that not only are we looking for volunteers always, but we are also hiring independent planners, event coordinators. Right now, we are looking in the Pacific time zone. So if you live in that time zone in the United States, unfortunately, we have not gone outside of the US yet, but we are going to eventually do that. So if you want to send me your email, you can send me a personal message on the chat here with your email if you're interested in that information. Even if you're out of country, we're hoping in the next year to start doing this internationally, having planners internationally as well. So I am now going to turn this over to our instructor for the day, Cheryl Soul. She is one of our board members, and she's an awesome lady. And she has a helper today, and her name is Asahi. And so I'm going to turn this over to them now.
You're muted, Mommy.
Sorry to unmute, but we can't hear you.
Okay, we're working on it right now. Just a second.
I guess I'll need to speak up. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes. To keep my voice at a level where I can be heard. The things that you need to get. You'll need a large flat surface. This is actually a portable table. This folds in half and the legs retract. So this is just big enough to do this project, but you know, you might want more room so you can do it on a kitchen table. You want to put underneath plenty of newspaper. Or you could use a blanket and the newspaper on top. You just don't want to, you're using bleeding tissue paper and you don't want it to bleed through onto your surface. So once you've got your newspaper down, this is what you will need in terms of the actual tissue paper. You can get an assortment like this. This is a fairly large package. This is 100 sheets. And you've got quite an assortment of colors, which you can use. You can also get a smaller package. It's the same size when it opens up, it's just smaller than that. And you can get sets of tissue that are in a colored range. This, for instance, this is a cool selection of papers. You can get bright colors like yellow, orange. So you can experiment and you can get a selection that's the colors you like, rather than getting a large selection of that will include things that you don't want to use. So available online. This brand is called Spectra. But there are different versions of this. The important thing when you buy your paper, it must say bleeding art tissue. If it doesn't say that, it's not going to work. This paper is constructed specifically to bleed when you apply water. So you really have to pay attention to what you're purchasing. If you go to a gift store or Walmart, Kmart, and you just buy tissue paper, you may end up with something that's not going to work for your project. So you need an iron. And I don't use my good iron for this. This I bought at a thrift store, I think for $5. So you just need an iron that gets hot. It doesn't have to steam or spray, anything like that. It just needs to get hot enough to dry the paper when you're finished. Okay. I'll show you some different examples of this paper. I really like blue and green. I think it's really pretty. This one is, I think orange and blue. It comes out like this. This is, I think, 3 different colors. I think that's very nice too. My favorite colors are the cool ones, like blue and green. I think that comes out really good. But if you're a bright color person, it's the one that it's done with orange and blue. And if you're a watercolor person and you just put them together, when you put orange and blue together, you get a brown. This one I really like. This one is purple and blue. And this one is a green and blue. This is really pretty. Okay. In addition to the paper that you buy, you'll need an assortment of spray bottles. Okay. You can buy these in any store. I've got one really fine one here.
There you go.
So that and an iron. And that's it. That's all you need to do this paper. I'll show you. When I use this to wrap gifts, I like to use, I've got a huge assortment of yarn in my house, which I need to get rid of. But this is particularly effective as a gift wrap. The paper plus some nice colorful yarn. So let's begin. Okay. I'm gonna pick a couple of colors to work with. Let's start with purple. We'll try it in light green. There goes.
I was just thinking that because they're very contrasting colors.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Let's begin. Line them up together. The edges meet. Smooth it out as much as you can. And we'll start. You're going to use your spray bottle. You don't want to completely soak it, but you want to use enough water so that you can see it beginning to bleed together. And I always try to get right to the edge of the paper. Okay. We'll apply our iron. Now, don't worry, you're going to see that it kind of draws out and that there are wrinkles in it. Don't worry about that. That's not important. The important thing is you're going to press down on your paper. Oops.
Did you tell him what heat?
I put it on high. I wind it all the way up.
So high. She says
High.
hot.
Use it high.
Hot.
The important thing is not to jerk it across your paper. You want to press down until it's beginning to dry and then move it.
They're having concerns that it's gonna set it on fire.
No, no, that won't happen.
We're watching it right now, guys. There's no fire happening. You're watching this live.
And you'll see it's starting to dry. The important thing is press down, and when you move it from side to side, release a little bit of the pressure because it's fragile. It's wet, and you know what happens to paper when it gets wet, it will tear. But as long as you don't jerk it across your paper, you should be okay. You don't want to tear it. Just want to... And again, don't worry about the wrinkles. It's not going to really matter. It doesn't take very long for it to dry out. Just a couple seconds. But try to leave it down long enough so that it dries out before you move it to another location.
So on the screen, it's just looking mainly green.
And this is another thing too. Not every sheet of paper, every color is going to act the same way. So that's what makes it nice. It's very different every time you do this. It's different. But like I said, it doesn't take very much time for it to dry out. But you want to be gentle when it's still wet, not drag your iron.
They want to know how you found out about doing this.
I'm having a hard time remembering where I first learned to do this, but I think it may have been from a television program. Not sure, but like I said, it takes no time to learn how to do this. You don't need to have any particular skill. You just need to be able to use a spray bottle in the iron, and it gets beautiful results. So I really enjoy doing this.
So for young kids, they would have fun spraying it while then watching mom iron to see the colors that come out.
Yeah, that would be great.
Be a good story time.
Yeah. I recommend putting the iron on a dry setting. You don't really want steam or to spray from the iron. It's like I said, when the paper's wet, it's fragile. Overdue. And the steam's really unnecessary because you're using the water bottle. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, this one didn't bleed as much as some of the other colors. So I sometimes just use 2 sheets of tissue, but also sometimes I'll add a third, which is also quite interesting.
I think the ironing is too dry. She want to know if you could wait until the tissue dries before you iron it. But I think the process is the iron dries it really quickly so that the colors bleed together, and you're pressing to help that happen.
Exactly.
If you let it dry naturally, you don't get that press so that the colors will bleed as much.
Right. Okay, added a third sheet between the first two,
Oh,
so we'll wet it again. Right. Yeah, I'm gonna try my other little spray bottle and see if it looks any different. Yeah, this is a little different. You can get some spray bottles with nozzles that have a couple of different settings, like a spray or a stream. So experiment. Don't be afraid to try different ways of wetting the paper. I have never used a brush, but I was thinking last night you might get an interesting effect if you use a cotton ball with water.
oh.
You get a chance to try it out, and if you want to spring something on you that I haven't tried myself. And you can vary the amount of water that you use. You could use your sprays far apart or close together. It really just depends on how you feel. Like I said, experiment. This is 2 or 3 pieces of paper. It's not going to cost you a lot to try things. So.
So is the end result supposed to be they're gonna fuse together, or the colors are just gonna bleed to each other?
No, the colors will bleed, and as you dry it out, the pages will separate.
They will separate.
They
Okay.
will not stick together.
Oh, okay.
And be sure that you do go to the edge of the paper at least part of the way. Okay. Oh, that's nice.
Yes, you can do the three sheets at the beginning, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't use any more than that though. Just 3 is probably the one.
Yeah.
And part of what makes it look interesting too is the fact that it does wrinkle a little bit. And that makes the design more interesting. Remember, you're not going to move your arm very much until you can see that your paper is dry. You can smooth it. That's funny.
So Tosca in Alabama commented that she has so much tissue paper in her house, and she now knows what to do with it.
Just remember, it's not going to work unless it's bleeding art tissue.
Bleeding art tissue, yes, it has to be bleeding art tissue. So you can try it with others, but if it doesn't work, that's why it's not bleeding art tissue.
Well, what you could do is if you have some that's not bleeding, you could work with bleeding tissue on either side of your non-bleeding paper and see how that works.
Yeah.
You probably get something interesting out of that.
Oh yeah, that came out a lot better with the blue bleeding through that.
The lighter colors are not gonna give you as much of the bleeding effect, so it's a good idea to use a light color with a dark.
They're wanting to know how many sheets thick to wrap a gift.
I think you could use just one, but you do see through it a bit. So you don't want to use your paper over a box or that's got writing on it, because you'll see that.
Yeah, you probably,
You
it
can
is
always-
still just tissue paper.
Yeah, you can always double it, though. That would be more okay. If you use that.
It would give it a more interesting design then too, because of the different colors going behind and yeah. Really, yeah.
What we've got so far is. This is nice. With
Oh,
this
yeah.
one, you might just want to stop there.
Yeah.
That's pretty. Now you can see the dark on the light. Yeah, that is nice. I think maybe we should try a little something else on this one. But I'll leave these for now. I might go back and play with them again. And you can do this several times. You can, of course, use your iron, dry it out, and then go back to it and try another color with it. The possibilities are endless. Okay, let's take these off.
So they're wanting to know if you can, oh, they like the green one. Could you put 2 tissue papers on an envelope and let it bleed through on the envelope or on other paper?
I try it.
Oh.
Like I said, it's a piece of tissue paper. You're not gonna spend yourself into poverty experimenting with it.
Do we want it with the next one? Maybe I can go get some copy paper.
Sure, we can experiment. I'm gonna try one more color with this and see what kind of effect we can get. Let's see. Third blue. Ooh.
They want to know if you can get the special bleeding tissue paper from craft stores like Hobby Lobby and Michaels. And
Most of them have at least some, but your biggest assortment is gonna be online. I looked on Amazon, I looked on the Michaels website. They have a good bit. Or you could go directly to the company Spectra. It's Paycon Spectra Art Tissue.
there you go.
See that?
Yeah.
And like I said, it's good to buy it that way. Buying it online means you can get these smaller packages with just a different color set. These are cool colors, blue, green, purple. You could get sets with other brighter colors like orange, yellow, light green. So you can pick the colors that you just really enjoy.
Did you put the paper in there?
Hmm?
Did you put the piece of paper in there? Oh, no, not yet.
Not yet.
Okay.
We'll do one more of these and then we'll try it on the copy paper and see what happens. Like I said, I have never tried that, but no reason not to experiment.
Yes, Rita, she said Spectra.
I don't know any other brands by name, but that you can rely on the Spectra bleeding tissue. sizzling.
Yeah. They want to know if you spray the whole paint or if you leave some dry patches.
Um, you can. I think it just works better if you get a more consistent color throughout if you pretty much go over the whole paper. But because do what you think is fun. It's not expensive. And you might find a technique that you really like for spreading the color. Now, one thing I've never done is use a watercolor brush to expand,
Oh.
but I may try that. You really can't mess this up. But personally, I think it would look better if you pretty much dampen the whole paper. You could try doing it in streaks as well. But like I said, I'm very liberal with the amount of water. As long as it doesn't get so bad that it just tears.
They want to know if the colors transfer to the bottom of the iron where it requires cleaning between uses.
Well, that's why I get my iron from the thrift store. $5. I don't have to worry about using the same iron on clothes that I wake up. I recommend getting a cheap secondhand iron. But if you look at it, really
Yeah, put it down.
there's nothing sticking to the bottom.
Yeah, there's nothing.
And you might be able to use the iron for other things as well, but I'm just careful about that. So this iron is dedicated to making a paper.
Oh, can you paint shapes with water and bleed it through to make out what it's supposed to be? Ooh.
I haven't tried that. Again, do what you think is fun, experiment.
That would, yeah.
And I was thinking that you might be able to cut out some shapes with cardboard maybe or plastic and put them in between and see what happens.
And see what happens, yeah.
I would just make sure that it's not something like whatever shape you use is not some plastic that would melt.
Oh, yeah. I don't know about you all, but yeah, I have like a lot of these questions are helping me like, ooh, yeah, that would be fun. Like I'm a really big snowman person, so I would probably cut out a snowman and put in there and then make my paper and then the snowman would, yeah. That would be really cool.
But just realize that you can't be precise
Yeah.
with this. If it's gonna bleed and run and that's your wild card, that's
Try it.
you
and
have
see.
a lot less control over this than you do with if you were just doing a painting.
Yep. Another great question. Does it pick up the ink from the newspaper?
Not really. No. The inks that are in use these days with newspaper, I think it's like a soy ink, and it doesn't typically run. You might pick up if it's a really intense
I was wondering why you didn't use a plastic sheet, but now I understand.
No, no, no.
That way you would be melting it to your, yeah.
Yeah, actually, at home I had, these two large plastic prep mats
Oh, okay.
that come from the restaurant store, and I thought, oh, I'll use that underneath, that'll really, no, don't do that. Newspaper,
Just newspaper.
just thin newspaper.
And you can find the free things not anywhere anymore, but yeah. Wow.
That one turned.
Yeah.
I think that, I like the blues and greens and purples, I think those are beautiful.
Are you happy with the green one now? You weren't happy with it at first.
I think it needs something else. What do you think?
I think you need a red. But I don't think you
Try
have.
that.
Do you have a red? Oh. I'll always say you need red. That's my color.
Actually, I don't have a deep, well,
Yeah, it is.
we'll try this one.
Oh, are all these in there? Nope, it's just bleeding. It's the bleeding paper. You can't use regular tissue paper.
No, that won't work.
It won't work. You have to have the bleeding tissue paper.
And it's a little more expensive than just the plain old tissue paper, but you gotta have it.
Well, why do they make bleeding tissue paper?
For craft projects.
Ah. Okay.
Well, if you just look up, just Google bleeding tissue paper, it'll show you a lot of different things that people do with it. This is probably the simplest thing that people do with it.
I think yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. They're having weird conversations. Webstronaut? I don't know what that is. Oh, I don't know. Anyways, they have a yes, why. I'm not sure if that's why you can't use regular tissue paper, but I would think that's just because it doesn't bleed.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys can hear it, but when that iron first hits that first time, it sizzles. It's almost like you almost want to be smelling steak. It's that kind of sizzle. No, becoming healthy. Those your hands. They want to know if the color gets on your hands.
A little. I did some last night and I still have some color, but it will wash out. It's not.
Yeah,
permanent.
it'll wash off, and it does. You can see underneath around the edges, the blue is going on the newspaper. So you do want something on your table, preferably newspaper, nothing plastic. You'll melt your plastic because you want your iron very hot. So either cardboard or newspaper. And you're with crafts, if you don't get messy, who's to know you're really crafting then?
Well, you notice I'm wearing an apron. Or wear your old clothes. It's real. This is not really an extremely messy process. You're not going to be spreading color everywhere. As long as you have the paper underneath it so that it doesn't mess up your table surface, it'll be fine. I'm wondering how many people got their materials together and are following along while they're watching today.
I send it.
Oh, okay, you didn't get them ahead of time.
No.
That's fine. I promise you, you won't need anybody instructing you while you're doing it because this is so easy.
Yeah, and if you feel like you do, the like I said, the video will be on the Atlantic Institute SC YouTube channel by the end of next week. But while you're waiting for that one to drop, there are over 200 videos out there of our interfaith educational and cultural classes. We have cuisine of different cultures, cultural creations, tour of faiths, and educational dialogue events. All and anything that we've recorded, we've put out there. And the person that handles this for us is nice enough to do it by year and by kind of what kind of program it is. So like if you're just looking for craft stuff for this year, you'll find Cultural Creations 2023. But then there's like 2022 and I think 2021. We've been doing this for a while now. So there's all sorts of different things. There's stuff from hand knitting to there's a recycle-a-thon, which not next month December, but the next December we're gonna do a craft recycle-a-thon again. We did one last year. Where we send you a bag of recycled items and you make a craft out of it at a certain time, and we have judges from people on our Zoom. Woo, yes, and we have fun, and you can win gift cards. So that is already out on our Eventbrite. If you've signed up through our Eventbrite, you can sign up for that already. And then but that is next December, not next month, but 2024 December is when we're going to do that. I get the privilege of collecting all of the goodies that will go in your box of recycled stuff. So yes, thank you, Talitha. Yes, it is going to be fun. I don't think I like it as much as I thought I would.
Well,
it's not bad. It's just different.
it's interesting. You might wanna,
It almost looks like the green paper is bleeding.
yeah. I think what I would do is try another color with this.
Put another color in with it. Yeah.
And see if you can either brighten it up or make it more contrasting.
Yep.
Okay, my assistant disapproved anybody can do this after 2 minutes of instruction. My assistant here is gonna come over and do her own.
Oh, somebody said that it reminded them of poinsettias. You're right, it does. Thank you.
Yes.
Awesome.
Okay. Come around.
Oh, thank you, Ruby. She said she's so glad she found us during the COVID. And that is when we did start doing our Zoom stuff was during COVID. It actually, little history is Atlantic Institute is actually Atlantic Institute, South Carolina, USA. And we did everything in person. And COVID made us pivot because we didn't want to stop putting our messages out there. And so we started doing these, and we did it for 2 years, and then we were like, okay, we need to go back to doing it in person. But I took the totals when I asked you guys where you're from. I took the totals to my bosses in the advisory board, and I'm like, if we go back to just doing these in person, we're going to lose half our audience, and that's no fun. We need to keep everybody that we have coming. And so we decided that we would continue doing them virtually or hybrid. But we're still having problems getting people to do stuff in person here in South Carolina for some reason. And so we this class was supposed to be in person slash virtual for those who weren't in South Carolina, and we didn't get anybody to sign up. So sad, because this is easy and looks like a lot of fun. But we are going to continue doing these virtually, or like I said, hybrid. And we are hiring people right now just in the US, and we're looking for somebody in the Pacific time zone. And then later on in 2024, I believe we're going to hire more people in other countries. So, like I said, if you're interested, let me know by an email address. Just send me an email address and say that you're interested, and I will contact you with information. So, all right, they're gonna do another one. She's gonna have her assistant do it, so you guys can see how easy this is. Honestly, he has never seen this done until just a few minutes ago.
And hers is gonna be fantastic in the original. Pick your colors. Oh, thank you. I love them.
Thank you, Tabitha. Yes, it has been awesome, our continuing programming. And I want to say that my new programmers, that the people that we've hired to do continuing, are coming in with amazing and new ideas. So check out all our events we have going in November. And then December is going to be a little light because, you know, the holidays, but look for us again in January to come back full strength with a lot more.
Any color you want.
And the reason I do mention these on these Zoom meetings is because two of the ladies who are actually here today are how I found them, and they are doing fantastic programs for us. Tosca, do you want to unmute yourself and talk and tell us what your program is?
Yes. Hey, everyone. My name is Tosca, and I just recently have become an event programmer, but I enjoyed it so much. It just warms my heart to do this. So my event on Tuesday at 7 o'clock will be survival tips while you're grieving through the holidays. If you are grieving, these are survival tips that may help you go through the holidays. And I have a grief counselor and a digital scrapbooker that's going to show us how to do a tribute book. And I have a spiritual guide and a health and wellness counselor. So I hope that you will join this event if you need it.
Awesome, thank you. And then Tabitha, I think she's having sound problems today. Her event is, sorry, we have so many going on. I can't remember what she's doing. Where's yours? Oh, no, I don't think Tabitha,
She's doing the
yes.
indigenous people.
I'm sorry. Thank you, Tosca. Native American heritage, honoring the tradition of indigenous people. And right now we're on a waiting list for, because I just noticed we filled up all the way to 100 today, because we had to go to the 100 platform of Eventbrite. But we have a waiting list, and if you get on the waiting list, I will send you the Zoom link as well. Oh, yes, her audio is not working today. So thank you, Tabitha. But yes, so if you get on the waiting list, you will get the Zoom link for that, for the Native American event that we're doing on Tuesday. So no, Tuesday? Yes. No, tomorrow. I'm sorry, that is tomorrow. The one is tomorrow, and it is at 3 p.m. Eastern. But I'm gonna turn it back over to our ladies. It looks like they did a whole one while we were talking.
Okay, sometimes once the top 5 is finished and it starts, I'll flip it over. And add some water into the spaces and dry it again. And after that, it might be finished, or you might want to add another color to it, to the next, but I would fill in a little bit here and then we'll take it out. I would let it again from this side. And then turn it over and see what happens. We'll just add a little bit more in the spaces.
Yes.
One thing I've been wanting to try with this, just to see how it works, is I don't know if you've ever used the heat and bond that you use for sewing.
Oh, yeah.
I thought about applying the heat and bond to this paper and seeing what I might make out of it.
Yeah, that would be different.
Yeah, I've actually thought about, you know, the little lamps that are, they're kind of oriental looking
Mhm.
with, the pieces that slide out.
Oh, yeah.
I thought about using the heat and bond and then cutting out a piece to fit onto those sections and see how it looks as a lamp.
That, yeah, that would be awesome. There goes the steak.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's nice. See, 2 minutes of instruction and she's got it down. Oh, that's nice.
Yes, Ruby, you can do 3 sheets at a time.
Yes. I start with 2 and then, you know, once I've played with those 2 colors together, I'll put the 3rd sheet in between the 2 and see how that goes. Or you could try working with 3 sheets all at once from the beginning. I just usually do the 2 sheets because I'm afraid that if I do 3 together, it's gonna slide, the middle one will
Mhm.
slide. Because the paper, as I said, the paper is very fragile and it's wet.
Yeah,
So, oh, that's really nice.
that's very pretty. I am not surprised she picked purple and pink.
Nice. Let's take a peek. And how it looks. Oh, lovely. Let's try turning it over and making sure it's really raw. Because it's still a little.
Can anybody hear my puppies? We locked them into the room behind the table there, and they're it is beautiful. It is very beautiful. They are starting to whine because they can hear us out here, and they can't get to us to get pets. So I also want to say that because Eventbrite has made the nonprofits and the people who don't normally charge for their programming start paying, we are asking for donations if you can. If you can't, that's fine too. There are always free spots available. But even if you come across an event and it says sold out, I always activate the waiting list and get on the waiting list because I will send you the Zoom link if you get on the waiting list because even though people sign up, they don't all show up. And so we'll have 100 show up or sign up, but not 100 participate. So I can do the, they could be shown on Zoom, but they will get in the way and they will want all the lovings, and we wouldn't be able to get the project done to show you. So I'll let them out if they're behaving right after we're done. Oh, you still get on the wait list. Got it. Yes, please get on any of our events we have going on. Get on our wait list. Because I will send you. I don't know about other organizations, but I will send you the Zoom link. Still, if you can also like us in Eventbrite. You can like us as a an organizer or person, and when we put new things out there, it'll send you an email saying, hey, they put out a new program, and then you can sign up right away and you don't have to be on the waiting list. But yes, following, thank you, Tabitha. Following. Follow us on Eventbrite, because then you can see what all new stuff we have, and like I said, then you don't have to wait on the wait list. But if you do come across that, go ahead and get on the wait list, because I will send the Zoom link to anybody on the wait list. So yes, look at that. That is beautiful.
I think this one's done, but would you like to fiddle with this a little more going down here? Maybe add a third color.
That is pretty. So I don't know about your guys' screens, but on my screen, it's very muted and I have a hard time seeing the difference. But Cheryl is actually here in my home, and I love that. And I can see her iPad, and on her iPad, the colors are very bright, vibrant, and you can really see the difference, and it's awesome. Oh, that will be very different. They're saying they look as pretty as like silk scarves, and I have to agree. I've seen some silk scarves that look. And yes, this is why we did this in November, is if you wanted to make some pretty wrapping paper, and you can get the holiday colors of, even though we mixed the green and the red, that didn't quite go over as well as I thought it would. But you can make them whatever colors you want. And they're gorgeous. No, we did not try the white paper yet. We're going to do that in a little bit. I just found, sorry, I'm just found 1 and 2. Where did I lose that? My scrolling's not working very well today. Look, there goes the steak. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but when they put that on that, I just get out of my way. On the 1 and 2 inch circles in this bleeding tissue sheets on Amazon. What can you do with those, Cheryl?
What?
I found 1 and 2 inch circles in this bleeding tissue sheets on Amazon. What can you do? The sheets are 20 by 18 inches. Sheet pack is around 15 or so. Wow.
I can't think right now, but let me ponder on it a bit.
They probably.
I think those little circles are meant for making tissue flowers.
Oh, tissue flowers, yes.
But I don't know. Well, you wouldn't be able to iron. Well, maybe you could. Yeah.
You could iron the little circles,
yeah.
and probably the bleeding, so that if you want to do something to them to make them look more realistic, is probably why they're in the bleeding tissue kind of thing. But that's probably right. The flowers. That is turning out really different. Is she pressing hard enough?
Yeah, I would press down, pause briefly, and then move on. Because the only thing that's gonna mess this up is if you rush the iron across the paper and fingers.
Yes. Thank you, Tosca, for reminding me. Yes, I want to say thank you to all our veterans. If there are any of you out there on here, thank you very much. My daughter is an archer for her high school, and they actually had the archers turn around and applaud, had the veterans stand up, and we all applauded them because it was, yeah, it was a really awesome. So thank you for all our veterans. Oh, the tea, whether you have the name of the tea company, their daughter. Oh, Nikki, I don't know right off the hand about the tea. If you put your email in the if you send me your email, I will ask that lady and send it to you. I will send you I'll see if they can send me the website and I will send it to you. Thank you.
Or varnish. Oh, that's nice.
That is really different.
Try that out.
More iron.
Yeah, the nice thing, the really fun thing about doing this, you never know what you're gonna get. It's very unpredictable and it just amazes me, the patterns that you get and the effects.
Yeah, you could probably put the same two sheets of paper together, spray them down, iron them, and still come out with different patterns,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, I really like this.
Yeah, the color on my computer screen sucks. You have great color on your iPad. You should see the difference. Come here, so you can see the difference. Like,
Oh, yeah, that's really washed out.
yeah,
You can probably fix that.
I probably can. I just gotta go in there and do it.
Yeah.
So,
This is lovely. Everybody see?
oh yeah.
I think this one needs more work. Want to try another color with that?
It's beautiful.
We'll fiddle with this one a little bit more and then maybe somebody would like to make a request for two colors to use together.
Oh, that would be good. So Nikki said, thank you for the webinar. This is so meditating. I could watch Miss Cheryl iron the papers all day long. I agree. Like I'm sitting here just watching her iron and it's like, it is kind of meditating. And you know, like we're having a conversation and coming up with different ideas to try. Like I like that too. Like we're not just all sitting here in silence watching her, but like thinking of other ideas like that. Did you guys do the white paper yet? And they were saying it actually reminds me like the acrylic pour painting. You never know what the end result will look like. Yeah, I've seen that too. Yeah.
Yeah, one thing you have to do when you're doing this is that the darker colors are always more intense. There's more color than the lighter color shades. And I'm guessing that's partly because they're light color, but also because there's actually less pigment in those lighter shades.
Oh yeah. Yeah. we'll probably wrap it up after this one. It is 3:10. That hour went quick.
Yeah, faster than I thought.
Yeah. You're like, oh, it'll take me 5 minutes.
Well, somebody wanted to see what it looked like on a sheet of white.
On a sheet of white. Yeah, we'll have to
We'll
do that.
real- Oh, I love this one. Like I said, I really like the cool colors. They look more like nature. To me, like the
Oh,
veins of
yeah.
place.
Yeah, because that could be water or sky or more water.
Yeah,
You need like a white and blue.
it's like a lily pond.
Yeah, like a lily pond, exactly. It's like, never heard of this batik work? BATIK?
Petite.
Batik work.
Yeah, it's kind of like that.
No.
Because in
Monet.
batik dyeing, you tie it up very tightly.
Oh, yeah.
And it's layered like this. Yeah.
So he said it's like a Monet.
Yeah.
This is awesome. Also, he can go home and show mom.
Is your mom crafty?
She brought me baby teeny tiny origami cranes.
Oh,
Yes. Uh, so Miss Cheryl's helper is an exchange student that is staying with me from Japan. So, and I'm involving her in all sorts of weird things, like making tissue paper.
okay.
Ooh. Yeah.
Well, let's experiment. Let's see if this will lead on to the white paper. So just put it on.
Oh, you're gonna fold it?
No, actually, I have a smaller half sheet in there for wrapping that little box.
Oh, yeah.
If I can find it real quick.
I think it's all the way at the bottom. I can see it. Like right all the way down.
Yep.
Keep going. Right in there.
There it is.
So you're gonna put it between the one she has down and that one, or
I would just put the one piece of paper underneath one of those sheets
oh,
and just wet it and see if it'll transfer. I don't know.
okay.
I have not ever
Yeah.
tried to do that.
Put it under that one, Asahi.
Yeah,
Yeah, underneath,
underneath and then, yeah.
and then wet it underneath. Yep, there you
Yeah, yeah.
go. All right, we're trying the white paper to see if we can make it bleed. Somebody was wondering if watercolor paper would work better, even though it's expensive. Yes, it is expensive.
You mean to go underneath?
Yeah, instead of the white paper.
Yeah,
use-
probably. It has more tooth to it
Yeah,
and it will
absorb.
draw the
Yeah.
pigment.
Yeah, it might. Aw. Tooth. That's one of the dogs, that high pitch. Why? The names of my puppies are Yo-Yo and Jack Jack. And Jack Jack is actually female. Her owners, when they found her, thought she was male, and so they named her Jack. But my 4-year-old nephew, Zach, was living with us at one time, and yelling Jack, Jack, or Zach became a little confusing, so we named her Jack. We just linked it to Jack Jack. And then Yo-Yo's full name is Yosemite Sam, but that's way too much to yell all the time, so it's Yo-Yo. And they are very sweet, and I will bring them out in just a few minutes. They're being very, very good. Oh, look at that! It did dye the paper.
Is it?
It is still wet though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's still a little bit damp. But yeah, you could do that. You could,
So if you wanted to do, I think there were, doing envelopes for, like, you're gonna send Christmas cards or holiday cards to people over the next couple of months, and so they're thinking probably about the yes, hard Christmas card envelopes. Yes, so you could possibly do that by just putting them in between some sheets of paper and doing that. Yeah. Awesome. Yes. Yes. So, yeah.
I thought too that fiddling around with this, you could cut out some shapes to put between the two sheets and see what kind of effect you get.
Yep.
But anyway, that's how you do it. It's so easy. Anybody can do it. Just watch the little kids with the eye.
It's yes, the little kids with the iron. Awesome. All right, you want to let the hounds out, Asahi, so they can see the puppies? They want to see the puppies. I mentioned them. Oh yes, release the hounds. Okay. They gotta check out who's in the house first. Sorry about the puppy. What? Yes, you guys, thank you. So that is it. I think he called the puppies so they can see you. Oh, they don't close the door. They think you're gonna put them back in the room. There you go. Look, she's not gonna put you back in the room. Come here. Here, let me turn off my screensaver. Yo, come here, see mama. No, not the blurry. All right. This is Yo-Yo. Oh, and this is Jack Jack. This is Jack Jack. Yo-Yo, come here, Yo-Yo. Look, this is Yo-Yo. Yes, they're very happy to be out now. All right, everybody. I want to say thank you again for meeting with us. We will have this out there. Thank you, you guys. And like I said, sign up for more stuff. I have stuff out there, like I said, till next December on our Eventbrite page. Yes, they're living doggies. Thank you. And if you have any questions, you can always email us if you have any ideas, or if you want to become an event planner, hosting one of these for, once a month. So thank you again. I'm going to stop the recording now and